Greetings and salutations. I am Karen Rossmore, and welcome to my stream. This is Pathfinder Kingmaker. You can't tell by the way that I just came in. I wasn't actually at my desk when it counted down to nothing, but I'm here now. Just need to get the laptop sorted so I can monitor the chat. I am Semantic Man. Greetings. Heyo. I do believe you're on one of the Discord channels for the GCP Pathfinder. If I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken. Sorry, I'm just trying to get set up. Yep. How's it going? You're currently joining me towards the end of the actual campaign, I think. I've been thinking for a while that maybe I'm getting close to the end. But this game just keeps going on and on and on. But yeah, this is session 78. And right, let's kill the background and just need to close up a bunch of things that don't really need to be running, just to try and make sure this smooths out a little bit and we don't get any random dings. Alright, there we go. So fair enough. Okay, it's one of the things where it's like a lot of the people I feel, who would be interested in watching this, unfortunately I can't stream at a time when they wouldn't be working. So yeah, we've just entered a new chapter called The Cursed King, which turns out to be me. Finally got out of a chapter 1,000 Screams. The thing is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Greetings, J Station. Yeah, who would have thunk it? 78 sessions, and we're now into The Cursed King, where I have been crippled, along with most of my people, I believe. So I've got the Lantern King's curse. Terrible curse that the Lantern King bestowed upon you, tying you and your companions to the kingdom's current state. As your kingdom crumbles, you wither and die. In your current state, you have a 40% chance to roll a 1 on all your d20 attempts. All enemies have a 40% chance to roll a 20 on all their d20 attempts. You deal 60% less damage. Your base attack bonus, saving throws, and HP are lowered by 60%. What else terrible? And you only have access to the lowest level of spells. So, yeah, we're a little bit... I've reached a safe place. In Varnhold, Omega Varn is fighting Mordecai's shadow, which appeared from the Broken Cup. You must help him. The liberation of Varnhold will surely lift part of the Lantern King's curse. Step 1. Yeah, I believe that's for the whole team. What icon is it? The Lantern King's curse. I'm pretty sure it's for the whole team. How about King Idreti? You just can't go have one too many limericks about him. His shadow escaped the cup and is trying to take up reign in Patax again. We must stop him and protect our governor. The liberation of Patax will surely lift part of the Atlantic King's curse. There's a battle being waged between Brevin and his army in the shadows of the fallen barbarians on the Flintlock grasslands. Helping our Brevin allies will surely lift part of the Atlantic King's curse. What remains of the capital guard is fighting off bandits near Oleg's trading post. We must defeat the enemy and return our soldiers to the King's banner. The liberation of Oleg's trading post will surely lift part of the Atlantic King's curse. Oh, and also there's a time frame. You will fail in 19 days and 23 hours. Great stuff. Right. I don't really care much for money at the moment. And all of this stuff is weighing me down. So let's just put it all in a box. We can sell it later. Should non-terrible things occur after this chapter. Although if there is another chapter after this, I am possibly going to cry. Right. That's brought the weight down somewhat. It's not great. Valerie, citizens. I have no idea where I am. Yeah, nothing like a ticking clock. Jubilost is still giant sized, although it's just shrunk. Rengar, Octavia. Is this where I'm supposed to be going? Ah, here we go. Travelling through the kingdom has been half swallowed by the First World is dangerous, unpredictable affair, but our hero didn't have much choice. He had to save his lands, or at least what was left of them. As quickly as possible, in the final hour, when every minute counted, Chiron decided the only chance was to try something risky and unreliable. Magic portals leading through the First World. Sadly, the vicious Langton King's curse placed a heavy burden on our leader's shoulders, and yet, even barely standing, Chiron wouldn't abandon his duty. Summoning all his courage, Chiron took a daring step to Oleg's landing post. Entering the portal and landing right in the middle of a clearing where the entire family of Owlcat cubs are playing is no trial for the faint-hearted. Our hero was lucky that one of the little ones had been having fun without any parental supervision, and when a strange two-legged creature appeared unexpectedly, they scattered, without waiting for their caretakers of these scared Owlcats, cat cubs, to appear on the playground. Chiron hurried through the next portal and soon arrived in the right place. And off we go. See, I don't know. One of the things is, it's like, you say surely this wouldn't appear in the tabletop AP. I've started reading the tabletop AP, and there's changes, don't get me wrong, but I have a feeling that potentially the way that it's been presented is what's... So yeah, everybody's got the Lantern King's Curse. So we have... We have the spell slots, we just can't do anything with them. We've got level 0 spells. The king is alive, I told you. Quite excited about the upcoming special edition for TUI. I've not been paying too much attention to Paizo. I really don't. The reprint. Yeah, I think crowdfunding is a great way of getting numbers for those kind of things. Lots of portals and planes of a game that's set in a kingdom you've built yourself. But yeah, if this was presented in a way that I wouldn't mind, there's a reasonable chance that it's a good plot. The fact that, it's like, oh yeah, great, we've done these things. I'm so glad you returned. A land without a king is like a house without a roof. You don't want to say anything to me. Creston, give me the news. The exhausted defenders of the trading post shout with relief, recognizing you. Your Highness, Creston looks mortally tired, but his usual gloomy face is bright with joy. I knew you would return, and right on time too. Right, Jod remarks grumpily, and... Oh, Jod has a completely different background. There's lots of portals and they've incorporated the companions that Owlcat developed. Oh! Yes, Pathfinder Kingmaker AP. I did read about that. Yeah, somebody was going through and tweaking the things. And also retroactively putting some of the stuff in. So, like I say, I've started reading because I'm thinking about doing a bit of a review between the two. Between Pathfinder Kingmaker, the AP, and the video game. But for that, it's one of them where it's like I need to actually go through and understand it. And already there's some changes, I don't know if, people who've been here from the start or have played this themselves, the entirety of the first act, where you're in the keep of the Sword Lord and the group gets put together and you get divided into teams and Tartuccio is a thing. That didn't happen at all in the Adventure Path. The Adventure Path starts at Oleg's trading post. Straight up. Just like, no, skip all that. Which kind of makes sense. The first part is kind of like the introduction, a different way of introducing. It's a better way of getting the group together and also a group that's likely to work well together, as opposed to a group that's going to hate each other. So if you were to go down the evil route, for example, then you'd end up with a different starting party than if you go down the good route. And by twisting it like that, it's also the preamble as a tutorial for the controls too. It introduces different aspects, because there's the skill checks, there's the storybook entries, that are all there that probably didn't need to be there in the sort of like tutorial section, but it gets the point across. And also, like I say, it's a better way of bringing a group together, because if you think about one of the things that I struggle sometimes with as a GM is every now and again you'll get a group of players and they've all got great character ideas, but they are paradigmically opposing mentalities. And to a certain degree, it's up to the players to think and work together cooperatively. And be sort of like, yeah, we're coming together as a group. I have a very cool character concept. I'm sort of like a chaotic, neutral druid who's here to tear down society. Yet, you might be in the same party as a cleric of Abadar, who is all about building up civilization. So straight away, there's two very opposing viewpoints on what should and shouldn't be happening. And that's not great for the flow of a story. Now, when it's around a tabletop, you know, the players understand that it's a cooperative, and they need to be a little bit flexible on their morals, as long as it's not too far, or otherwise they just become a yes man. And in some cases, you know, you can get around this with a session 0. You outline the thing, the plot of a narrative, and then you make the players make their characters while discussing what they're thinking. And, you know, you can start like, is that really going to be great? Because that's going to be grating a lot on this if you play a very black and white character. How about mixing in a bit of shades of grey, not too zealot or fanatic in their beliefs. You can still have those beliefs, but it's not going to cause as much friction. And that's a way of doing it at a table, but this is a video game. How are you supposed to get the group together when the group is just the one player? By going through the tutorial, you get a couple of moral and sort of like diplomatic points, and it selects out the companions as to which ones you're going to be taking with you in the first instance. But because of that, it's just not in the AP, so it skips ahead to Oleg's trading post and it's like, here you go. You've all met up at Oleg's trading post because you're here because of this. Right, Jorah remarks grumpily, oh yeah, he's got a completely different background and entry point into the AP. I won't go into too much here, but yeah, it's like, oh wow, that's different. But his eyes are shining with joy. I'm so exhausted from trying to talk sense into these simpletons while you were gone. Some of them just scatter, others try to act like heroes. There's no order at all. What's going on here? Oleg Leviton. Everything is worse than it might seem, Your Highness. A gloomy Oleg joins the conversation. Bandits are preparing to raid us. Just like the good old times. To hell with them. If only they were ordinary bandits, but no, the evil spirits coming from the midst and fading away are like mists when you kill them. There hasn't been a single day without an attack. I'm here to help. Whoever is attacking you, they're as good as dead. We won't have to wait. There they are. All right, Your Highness. Together we'll burn the tails off these vermin.
If it isn't my greatest mistake. I was sitting in my fortress and drinking when I should have come here and burned the damn trading post to the ground, along with everyone inside, on the very day you appeared in the stolen lands.
Ah, the Stag Lord's shadow. I still have your helmet. I still have your helmet. What's Valerie's AC? Okay, her AC isn't too bad. Ah, you missed. When I started streaming, yes. When I first got the game, no. And it's one of them things where it's like, without the turn-based, I find it is just too frantic and a lot of a mess. Trying to play it in real time. When I decided that I was going to start streaming and they just come out with the turn-based mode, it's like, this is the ideal moment. Tristan, go. No. Go and assist. Valerie. So yeah, when I decided to start streaming, because I got a bunch of games in a very, tactical, team-based role-playing games, much, the narrative RPG as opposed to a action RPG. It was like the fact that they'd just done the turn-based when I started, or when I was thinking of starting streaming, is what galvanized me into like, I'm going to start with Pathfinder Kingmaker. I tried to pick it up a few times. Before that, the main problem I found was I find it too frantic. I was dying a lot, and the only way that I could survive was by turning down the difficulty. And it was turning down the difficulty to the point of the story mode, which there's just no difficulty at all. They did a decent job adapting turn-based combat system to a real-time with pause, but ultimately I think it hampers you too much. I've just started a new game with Kingmaker, and I've gone turn-based. Yeah.
Let us strike as one.
I think they've done a great job at it, and it even shows when it comes to the difficulty levels. They know that it's going to be more difficult than the turn-based to a certain extent, because the normal difficulty is not actually by Pathfinder rules, strictly speaking. Right, are we going to be able to hit anything? Nope. 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 Oh, there we go.
Where are you, for the demon's sake?
It's not a great amount of damage, but I have... Where is he on this? Okay, he's a bit messed up. What's interesting... The Stag Lords also seems to have the the Land King's Curse. Although I suppose that's so that they can hit me? I don't know. Still, not too bad. Managed to actually hit him 1 out of 4 attacks and nearly mullered him. Right, so that's him dead. May have just summoned more bad guys by killing him first. What do you have in the level 0? These don't class as undead, do they? No, just shadows. Didn't quite work as I was hoping. Oh. Octavia's been mullered. Surprise! He's still hurting, even if they don't hit you. But yeah, I think they have done a very good job at translating, because one of the things that I was discussing on my live stream of Starfinder, or was it? I think this might have been pre-stream, so it wasn't a broadcast. But one of the things is, it's all like, I'm professionally a developer, and at the same token, it's all like, if I was to be given sort of like the rule book of Pathfinder or Starfinder or any, even something less crunchy like 5th edition, I would not want to try to write from scratch a VTT where it just basically tries to automate some of the rules. Never mind trying to put a narrative in there and get the rest of the system to work, per se. God dang it. Tristan, go stand over there. Be generous to them, for I so the fact that they've done a reasonable job, as with any video game, it's not likely to be flawless. And when I say it's not flawless, it's rules that they've taken out that I don't really agree with them having taken out. That it's like, I wish they'd have left some of this in. Just some of the abilities. You've got a very limited subset of spells in this game, because they've not had chance to program in every single spell. And to a certain degree, it makes sense in terms of some spells are potentially game breaking, or at least, if they existed, then trying to come up with some way to prevent them. A calculated risk can make for interesting issues. There we go. When I can hit, and I can take these guys out. It's just hitting that's a problem at the moment. Tristan, back up a little bit. And can I take that guy out? There we go. Took that guy out. One of the things that I'm very curious to see is the improvements that Owlcat have managed to make for Wrath of the Righteous. I'm hoping to a certain degree they've gone down the route of not doing a complete overhaul of everything and trying from scratch. I've heard different things, it's going to be a fully 3D engine and the rest of it. But I'm hoping that they've not thrown away, because that's the graphics engine. I think it should be reasonably possible to have sort of like the core Pathfinder rules engine displaced from that, so that by throwing away the UI, they can actually just add into the rules rather than having to start completely from scratch. But that's one of them where it's like, won't know until I actually sit down and play it. Okay, we're running out of bad guys. There's 3. Where's this guy? He's over there. This guy there. This guy there. And that's it. Just not bad. But yeah, hopefully with the Wrath of the Righteous, as long as they've not thrown everything away and they can expand into it, hopefully they will have some level of commitment and you know, to expanding out the spell lists, to expanding out the feats and abilities of certain classes. I know that they're adding in some classes. I've not done enough delving. I think Witch is going to be in there, which is one of them fun ones where it's like, if I could have, I would have played a Witch for this game. But they're just not in Kingmaker. I think they're going into Wrath of the Righteous. I'd be curious to see how a Gunslinger, if they've implemented one of those. But that's 6 on one, half a dozen of the other, whether I want to actually play one of them, because I kind of like keeping my fantasy sword and board rather than flintlock pistols. But at the same token, there are certain advantages that I'm aware of when it comes to the pistols that could be interesting, because one of the things, you know, one of the disadvantages of being a gunslinger in Pathfinder is how much it costs for the different kinds of ammo. You know, it's not a major issue, but it's certainly a factor when it comes to some of the specialized shots. Because it's like, if I use this shot, it's going to cost 5 gold, and, you know, is it really worth using 5 gold of ammo on a sewer rat? Now, one of the things that they've done for Pathfinder Kingmaker, which they do in a lot of video games, is just throw away the concept of arrows altogether, or ammo altogether. You essentially pick up a bow, begin using it. That's it. That's all you need to worry about when it comes to... Right, okay, this corner is secure. Who was that? Which kind of makes sense, because, you know, a lot of the time it's not fun per se to be doing inventory management down to the arrow. It's certainly not fun at a tabletop situation. You know, when I say not fun, it's not my kind of fun of having to sort of like sit down and keep track of every single arrow. In all situations. It's not too bad on a... if it's in some way automated. You know, for example, for Starfinder, I play that on Fantasy Grounds, and every time, you know, every weapon has an ammo counter, and it will prevent you from using the gun when it's empty. Because of that, and then you click the reload, and you know how many arrows or bullets or battery charges that you've just used up. And so for the most part, he made a mistake. It's not too difficult to keep track of ammo. But in a tabletop game, you know, who wants to be going, oh yeah, how long did that fight last? How many arrows did I shoot off? And so when it comes to the gunslinger, you know, ammo really does matter, because you know, ammo is expensive. More often than not with D&D and Pathfinder games, where it's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm using a bow and arrow, and the GM will be just like, I'm not going to keep track of ammo. Just, you know, if you care that much about it, every now and again, whenever you're in town, deduct a couple of pieces of gold from your inventory, and we'll call that ammo.
You forced my hand.
But otherwise, don't worry about it. Now, in some cases, ammo management is useful if you're in a survival and or very restricted resources. You know, if you're playing a campaign where it's like, alright, you start off a game with 12 arrows as a bowman, and it's like, alright, yeah, well that's it until you can find, craft, or buy some more.
Do not falter.
So all of a sudden you're very concerned as to where these 12 arrows are going when it comes to combat. And, you know, you might opt not to take the shot in some cases where it's like, I don't feel like it's going to make too big of a difference, or I don't feel like I'm going to hit. And it's an interesting aspect there, but at the same token, that's in a very small number of campaign choice cases. But the gunslinger, it's all, you know, each, I think, if I'm not mistaken, if anybody knows, correct me if I'm wrong, but the shot for a gunslinger is something like 1 gold a shot. Now that's not too bad when it comes to late game, but when you're starting off and you've got 15 gold in total, alright, so what's... Oleg Leviton catches his breath. I guess we fought them off, Your Highness. The fight seemed to have done you good. Forgive my frankness, but when you got here you were looking like the grave, but now you seem alright? You feel a surge of energy. Your curse hurts you and your followers more, and the more trouble haunts your kingdom. You've lessened its power by restoring peace at the trading post and environs. Oleg, how are you holding up? Staying brave? We must, Your Highness. Looks like there aren't any more of these bottom-feeding bandits in the area. If one wanders here, I'll handle it myself. When you've squished rats and roaches, you need to destroy their nests, not just run after separate beasts. It's time for the soldiers to return to the capital, and their place is on the front lines. Will do, Your Highness. I'll get your guard there safe and sound. We'll stand ready for your orders. Right, so that's that one. See, I'm trying to remember. See, I figured I'd do Oleg's first because that was the stolen ones. Then it'd be Varnhold. Then it'd be the barbarians. Then it would be Pitax. So off to Varnhold next. I'm assuming, and it might be wrong, that I'm supposed to do these in the order that I did them in. Don't know for sure. But yeah, so when you're starting off a game, it might be a terrible idea, but there's a slight chance that this is a great idea. What am I looking at? Oh yeah, that's it, the curse. You have a 30% chance to roll a 1 on any d20, a 30% chance for a roll of 20 on all the enemy attempts. You deal 45% less damage. Your base attack bonus and saving throws are lowered by 75. You have only access to lower level spells, which will cover first, second. Ooh, just first and second. Okay. But that is a bit of an improvement. See, there's loot over there, and there's a bear-like treant.
That is not far.
Which is kind of something that I had to deal with when it came to when I started out in the Stolen Lands. So let's have a heal. Let's have a bless.
Here.
Let's have an opening volley. I'd say God damn it, Octavia, but there's a reasonable chance that that wasn't all your fault. Right, Rengongar, you go there, prime your arcane weapon. Chiron, you go there. Valerie, do me a favour and charge at it. Tristan, use your bow. Doesn't seem to be too much of a problem.
Fine use of my talents.
Bleed for me.
One of them with the amount of
Let's try this way.
I've been gimped. It's very difficult for me to judge. Is that it? I wonder if that's just there because it's like there was a exclamation point in the first chapter. With no real purpose other than right. Leave. Travelling through the kingdom that's been half swallowed by the first world is dangerous and unpredictable, but our heroes didn't have much choice. He had to save his lands. Or at least to what was left of them. Blah blah blah, this is exactly the same. After defeating several enemies, our leader felt a surge of energy. The curse was growing weaker. If we could maybe manage to help a few more of our allies out of trouble, maybe it would be possible to eliminate the curse entirely. Summoning all of his courage, Chiron took a daring step. Where did I just say that I wanted to go? Varnhold? Yeah, Varnhold. Barbarians protects. Finding himself in the first world, Chiron was stunned by a wondrous vision, a fantastical bright iridescent shining in the sky. It took the shrewd ruler only a few seconds to realize that the rainbow patterns in the radiant skies were showing the way to the next portal. It wasn't far at all. Right,
As it should be.
we are here. Start off by going the wrong way, because the game expects it. Whoa! Right, bum. Go stand behind Valerie. Alright, Valerie, you're not designed to hit, you're designed to stand there
This should do it.
and give me my sneak attack bonus. Oh, come on, Octavia. Nobody's that unlucky. There we go. Yeah, definitely hope they expand out the spell list, because there's one of two things. It's like Valerie being the arcane trickster, prestige class, or archetype. I forget which it is called in Pathfinder. Never actually played it tabletop. She can get her sneak attack on ranged touch attacks up until she hits 10th level. Might not see up until she gets to 10th level, and then at 10th it'll she can do surprise AoE sneak attacks.
A calculated risk.
Which are a thing apparently. But yeah, there's some levels where it's just like there is no raise, there's no ranged sneak attack available spells. And yes, I know that you can use meta magic to tweak these things so it is of the... Oh dear, I think somebody died.
Stay behind me.
Of the appropriate level. So, you know, you can use Scorching Ray, you know, from 2nd level all the way up to 9th with enough meta magic messing around. The only partial issue I have with that is it's not really, you know,
This will hurt.
I potentially get very bored of a video game where it's like the only spell worthwhile casting at all levels is one that you get at level 2, and you might as well just stick with that one forever. You guys really should hide behind Valerie. So just a few more variety of spells for Wrath of the Righteous. Ooh. Slightly concerning.
Let's try this way.
Less concerning. Also, the way that the narrative works in CRPGs, and the way that, you know, this is where CRPGs have a downfall over tabletop games. It's like there are very few utility spells in this game. Potentially quite simply because it would be nigh on impossible to try to program it up in an effective way for these to be of general purpose, you know, use it all of the time kind of things. You know, the classic cantrip for a lot of wizards and arcane spellcasters is I'll remember it in a moment. Prestidigitation. Yeah, and in prestidigitation, so all it does is it cleans its soils, it warms, it cools. It can be used to make minor arcane marks, and I think it has the ability to create small items, but they're so fragile and inconsequential that they can't be used to do anything significant. You know, more often than not, because it's a 0-level spell and there's not really much you can do with it, it mainly just tends to be there for flavor. You know, it's like a wizard who doesn't want their robes getting dirty, or you know, wants to play little bits of practical jokes on people, because it can also flavor. That's the other thing that it does. It allows you to flavor things. So, you know, you can play a little bit of a practical joke on somebody by, you know, they've about to eat into some hot soup, and you can cool it down and give it a different flavor. All right, catch you later, Semantic Man. And you know, it's little things. And also, you know, there can be some utility to it, where it's all like, you know, if you accidentally knock over somebody's drink and they're starting to get upset with you, it's all like you get the wizard, prestidigitation, clean that right up. The guy's not got anything to complain about any longer. It might give you an advantage in trying to calm him down. Which is something that the GM has to make a decision on.
So it's come to this.
There are ways of incorporating it into the computer role-playing games. You know, for example, one of the things that you've got to do is, or what helps sometimes, is identifying creatures. Now, in a tabletop game, it's usually reliant on the player saying, oh, I want to identify this creature. Then the player makes a roll, and the GM compares it against how difficult that was, and they'll tell you something. In this, it just happens automatically because it's easier than trying to program in sort of like a control that's all like, identify this, identify this, identify this. And players quite rightly, when it comes to video games, especially if it's that easy, it's like, why do I always have to click on a right click, identify? I'm going to do that with everything. Can't you just assume it? The thing is, it happens discreetly in the background. Nobody needs to worry about it, and because nobody worries about it, it can just happen automatically. The information's there if you manage to get the check and you want to look for it, but if you fail to make the check, the information's not there. At a tabletop, you generally tend to assume certain things like
In due time.
this unholy relic is fashioned entirely of bone, tied together with rope and skin. While in possession of this item, the DC to saving throws against the user's channel negative energy increase by 2, and they may channel energy additionally 1 time per day. Additionally, the user may use this symbol. The user of this symbol may cast Create Undead once per day for 13 rounds. I mean, I don't think he's going to want to touch it. But he could. Oh, it's a necklace? Oh. See, I thought this was just going to be a equipable thing. Not replacing his +5 natural armor for that. So yeah, there are ways of introducing these things. But at the same token, you know, it's all like, if you've got a group of people who are particularly agile and particularly athletic, you know, for example, me here, I've got 26 athletics, 31 mobility, I should be able to, even with just a bit of a peg up, get up this roof, go along to here, stealth, and look all around me. But GM might say, okay, it's a DC this, that, and the other. I might not make the rolls. I might stumble. I might give my position away. That's all factors that the GM can put in there. But at the same token, the GM can allow that to happen and narrate what happens. When it comes to a video game like this, they're not going to want to have to go through every single building and every single, these trees, for example, would also need a way for me to be able to climb up there and see what I can see from the top. Every barrel I can stand on top of might give me a better opportunity to see what's in through a window, or these things, as a player, you don't know what you're going to think of next when you're trying to figure out some challenging situation. But the GM, more often than not, can do a fairly good job. It's like, yeah, I can see how that's possible. Okay, make me an athletics check. You guys really didn't want to go up against these guys. I think Mega's dead. I can't loot his body though. Hopefully that didn't just knacker up my quest here. I failed to protect my kingdom, and so now the guy was stupid and ran into it. Hey, Mega, get up. Oh, your people are dead. Megavan, Varn greets you with a broad smile. Carahone, I'm glad to see you with us, Your Highness. Forgive me for leaving the capital without your permission, but I couldn't stay away when your subjects needed help. What's going on in Varnhold? Madness, that is what. These dead Cyclops came out of nowhere and attacked indiscriminately. Then Vortikai himself appeared. The guards sent a message to the capital, and they held the line this whole time. Luckily, we were able to hold out until we could make it. They were able to hold out until we could make it. Mega's eyes blaze with anger. You can charge me with disobedience, Your Highness, but I couldn't ignore their cry for help. Thanks to me and those who followed, there are far fewer dead, but we still need to destroy their leader. Lead on, Magar. Let's protect Varnhold. Magar stands up straight and his mouth curls into a sneer, just like the old days. I'd rather not charge up there. I'd rather you had slightly more than no hit points.
Repent!
Delay you until after. Oh dear God. Just gonna get himself killed. Right. Valerie, charge.
This will hurt.
No, bye, Mega. Wowzers. So glad he didn't target somebody else then. Surprise, you fell over. Tristan, kill that guy. I said kill him. Just tickle him. Omega. There we go. Right.
Do not fall down.
Now we're just going to kick this guy in the ribs until he's dead. Because we're the good guys. He's going to get up. Not great. Not great. Let's use something slightly larger. Did nothing. Are you immune to fire? Oh no, energy resistance fire. Great stuff. Still pretty tough. But are you this tough? Oh, God, Rengungar. Come on. Alright, not too bad. You actually did some damage that time. These guys' resistances are ridiculous.
Dawnflower, grant me strength. A fine use of my talents. Here.
Bum. Sure, use that one up. Come on, finish him. Nearly. Use another one of these shocking grasps on him. There we go. That's that guy dead. Alright, not too bad, not too bad. I can pick him up in a moment. Assuming
You can't stop me.
we can finish this guy before anything terrible happens. Come on, don't fluff all of these. There we go. Tristan suffering. Oh, wait, yeah. Mega stows his weapon and catches his breath. What a fine battle. Just like back with my old squad, when we. No. This is no time for war stories. We need to save your kingdom. Let's get to the capital and give those invaders a hammering so good they roll to the pit of Garasmus. You feel like you can breathe fully again, like a heavy burden has been lifted from your shoulders. Regaining control of Varnhold weakened the curse cast upon you. So we're now down to a 20% chance of a roll 1 on your d20 attempts. A 20% chance of a roll 20 on all enemy d20 attempts. You deal 30% less damage. Your base attack bonus, saving throws, and HP are lowered only by 30%. You have access to medium level spells. Right. So we save it, just in case. We loot these bodies, just in case.
All according to plan.
We look at the journal and see that we've done 2 of these. King of the Reti. Oh wait, no. The Twice Born Warlord, which is Brevoy's army and the shadows of a fallen barbarians of Flint the Rock grasslands. So, missed a couple of guards and leave. See, there's a shrine of Lamashtu, the depths of Trobold. And I don't know why. Being in the First World, Chiron easily found a path to the portal that would take him to his destination. Of course, it would have been difficult to do so alone, but our leader was fortunate to find a gaggle of playful pixies to help him. Noticing a foreigner, they decided to display their capacity for nobility and honesty, a rare occurrence for Fae. This might be a terrible idea. I might have just shot myself in the foot by going to somewhere where I don't really need to go, but I'm curious as to why I can go here. I think I'll be okay. Should have possibly healed up.
Consider provoked. This is for you.
This should do it.
Die for me.
These guys are still pretty tough, but they're slow, so I might be able to do this one. Stinking Cloud for 3 more rounds. Quick, save a gnome. possibly us back up a little bit. I think one of the other things that makes it slightly better on the PC or as a video game is one of the, I wouldn't say awkward things, but the time-consuming thing about being at a tabletop. You know, you're seeing me doing here sort of like 3 attacks. That's 3d20 plus any damage rolls that hit. You know, you're potentially looking at a good few comparisons just to be able to go, okay, yep, that's a hit, a miss, that's damage, do the math on the damage. Hey, finally wore off on that one. And, you know, and 3 attacks is fairly low, you know, especially when you get to high level play. And so I think I can do 4, 5 at the moment. Still not feeling great.
I'll fight if I have to.
A calculated risk.
There we go. Another one down.
Stay behind me.
Will they ever learn?
Nope, because they're going to die before they have a chance to learn. Let's have some healing out here, because people aren't looking so peachy. But yeah, I'm currently doing 4. I think that might be also part of a Lantern King's curse. But I'm pretty sure before the curse kicked in, I could do 7 attacks around if I was hasted.
Break a sweat.
And so that's 70-20 you gotta roll. 70-20 you've then got to total up the results for, because, you know, to each roll, I'd have to add a 24, a 24, a 19, a 19, a 14, a 14, and another 24. And then compare that to their AC, which I can't do. That it's basically me doing the math and saying, does a 29 hit, does a 32 hit, whatever numbers it comes up to.
You can't stop me.
And then, depending on which hit, which miss, which crit, it's all another set of rolls. You know, it's like, okay, I did 15 points of damage on that one, 32 points of damage on that one, and a 29 on that one. Then the GM has to sort of like go, okay, total those up, take that away from their health. How much health do they have remaining? It's a lot of effort. And so, you know, when it comes to high level combat, there can be a fair amount of, you know,
I'm positive I found something. A trivial matter.
odium. An unholy archaic falchion gives the wielder a +6 natural enhancement bonus to natural armor, and reduces their charisma score to 1. Wow. And it's +2d6 against all creatures of lawful alignment, and +2d6 against all creatures of good alignment. So that's potentially a lot of damage. You're looking at 2d4 plus 4d6 if it's somebody who is lawful good, for example, me. But it's not very useful for what I'm doing right here. Right.
Something bothering you?
So yeah, I've got the purplish portal leading to the depths of Troubled, which is another one where I don't recognise it. We've got the Rossland borders and Ivaretti's palace. Let's go over to here and see what else there is. Because luckily all of these tend to have the way marker there.
Time for fun.
A clever ploy. Let yourself open.
And then it
Let's
exploded.
try this way. No.
Do I have anything good? Not accessible.
Fear me.
I'll try to make this swift.
We do have controlled fireball by Tristan. Why would they not sneak attacks? No, barbarians I think have an immunity to sneak attacks if there are some shenanigans going on. I meant to do a fireball. I mean, if you could not, that'd be great.
I'll cut you.
How did that not kill them all? And kobolds. Nothing to them.
Onwards! Stay behind me!
Primitives.
Surprise. There we go.
Let us strike as one!
Will they ever learn?
Nope. Oh, they're going to die. checking how much experience I've got on the off chance that I might actually be able to get to 19 before this is over. I'm doubtful. You're a little bit concerning, Ringungar, but
Do not hurt that.
you're good at murdering things, so murder things we shall. A huge troll lifts his head slowly as you approach, as if though shaking off a heavy dream. Who is there? Who comes? Ah, the Tartuk shadow. Shh, I hear familiar steps. Steps of depth, and death, steps of evil. But I am not afraid. I look death in the eye once again. Troubled will stand. Did not expect to see your ugly mugs again. Troubled fell. You don't belong here anymore. This is our home, Borba. Home of kobold and troll. What are you? You are what does not belong. You and your tribe. No more words. I will squish this bug and restore Troubled. That's slightly concerning. Do I have any haste? Do I get haste yet? No, I don't. Not the face. A little bit annoying that they're targeting me, but let's see if we can't get them on. I don't remember that spider, and I have a feeling that I should. So many bad guys. Zazmas. Alright, I'm blind. At least he's attacking Valerie. Can't do that this round.
So it's come to this.
Ah, shoot. You have haste. It's even the odds. Right, Valerie, what I want you to do is kill everybody. So many bad guys. What do we have access to? Right. He's down but not out. There we go.
A fine use of my talents.
I'll fight if I have to.
God, you've got a lot of hit points. I have a vague feeling that I remember this as Zaramath. But not well enough to go, oh yeah, that's you. Right.
This should
Yeah, get rid of that one. Yeah, I don't think this blindness is doing enough of a disadvantage over
Your entrails look.
there we go.
Trading pays off.
Over Cameron's AC. I think it's still fairly high. But I do want to get rid of the blindness, so. Nobody seemed to help right there. I never get the feeling that you use a fireball in the wrong room.
calm down. Not dead yet.
I think the most difficult part about this is actually, it's not the combat side of things, it's the fact that they've denied me my high level spells. You know. Because it's very much round about now, I'd be breaking out the heals. I have 4 of them. I just can't use any of them.
A calculated risk.
There we go, another one down. Oh god, there's another one. I didn't see that one there.
You can't stop me.
And Valor is now blind. Didn't want to attack him with Rangungar.
I can't keep this up much longer.
I know you can't. But I'm also out of bleeding heals. Another troll down.
Consider me provoked.
Onward!
I'm wounded.
I may have a slight problem. Everybody's running out of bleeding hit points.
This will hurt.
Well, that's him down.
Stay behind me!
Thing is, it's these automatic 20s that are really doing me in.
Calm down. Not dead yet.
There we go.
I require healing.
I know you do. And I'm gonna give you everything that I got. I want you to run all the way over there. Because if you die, it's game over. Why have they all just suddenly become flat-footed?
This is for you.
Let us strike as one.
What else do we have left to convert? You stay over there. God damn it, Octavia.
Do not falter.
Okay, I think we've got this. Especially as soon as the spider's also here, and that just killed somebody.
Ha! Primitive. Learn while I live.
Alright, we just a mop up.
Not much longer. Ha!
Oh, there's a final one. Couldn't see him for a moment there.
I'll fight if I have to.
Do. Friend Rescue Kingdom. Alright, let's have a quick save because I think that's going to be it down here, but I don't want to accidentally run in and get myself killed. Because there's some deaths which are likely to be slightly more. Martyr's Blade. Holy Axiomatic Vicious. So it's 1d10 plus 5. So this is basically the opposite of the sword that I found earlier. So Odium is unholy and archaic. This is axiomatic, which is 2d6 plus 2d6 onto chaotic creatures, 2d6 onto evil creatures, and when a vicious weapon strikes an opponent, it creates a flash of disruptive energy that resonates between the opponent and the wielder. This energy deals an extra 2d6 points of damage to the opponent and an extra 1d6 points of damage to the wielder. So I had that on Amory's blade, but she had a massive ton of hit points to basically back it up. And also got temps every time she raged, so we kind of offset everything. But at the same token, that's a fair amount. You know, we're looking at every attack having an extra 2d6. Assuming that all the enemies here on out are evil and chaotic, that's an extra 66 on every attack. You know, that will take the damage from 15 to 24 to 22, because this is a +1 better, to 30, 50, 55? Every single hit. But it's got that, it's an interesting sword. Not a shield. Never actually looked at the shield before. It's one to keep in mind if I need to, you know, if it gets to the point. Because the other thing is the unstoppable Kanda is +4 on persuasion checks, that's by the by. DR5 against piercing might come in useful. +8 saving throws against mind affecting effects, really useful. Creatures hit by the Kahanda must make a DC 17 fortitude saving throw or be affected by poison for 6 rounds. Poison deals 1d2 wisdom damage and dazes the target for a round. That is really useful. and you know, it doesn't hurt Valerie to use that weapon. Right, I think I'm at the stage where I need to go back to base camp and rest. Everybody's looking very beaten up. Tristan is just about out of spells. Valerie is blind. No more, but at the same token, that's the last time I can do that today. So, let's go back to the capital. Once at the capital, I believe I rest by talking to the storyteller. I need to rest. Can you help? Of course, Your Highness. My powers are at your service. Hopefully not too long. 8 hours. Okay. So we've still got 19 days and 15 hours. Right. Oh, that's my kingdom box somehow. Right, time to leave. So we want to go to the reddish portal leading to the Rostlands. Have you ever seen flying octopuses or hopping turtles? It seems our hero was fortunate to travel through the First World during the local denizens' migration season. He was accompanied by these amazing creatures along his entire journey. The trip was otherwise uneventful, and soon the portal led our king exactly where it was supposed to go. Rumours have it that some greater power helped him to rise to power and hide any traces of his villainy. Yes, it's called... whatever she was called. I've forgotten her name. What was she called? The main enemy of this entire game. Marissa, that's it. Got to admit, one of the things that they must have, you know, in any video game, you do kind of have sort of like who, or not so much who, where a lot of the investment has gone. And one of the things that I gotta say, this is interesting. I'm guessing. Yeah, the Brevoy Shadow or Soldier Shadows. I did not do a good job at making allies out of these people. So now that I'm here, I'm having to basically kill everybody. On the plus side, they're actually doing a very good job at killing each other. Although I think the barbarians are slightly tougher.
You can't stop me.
I think this is supposed to be one of them where it's like, depending on how you've done in the narrative and who you've allied with and the rest of it, this potentially has interesting facets to who's available, who's not available as an ally. You know, there's that spider that I'm assuming I was nice to. I'll
cut you.
Surprise! Why does everybody keep occasionally getting flat-footed? It'll be her ability. The one which has so many uses per day that I keep forgetting to turn off. And then it exploded. Now the impromptu sneak attack. Oh. You might not want to be there, Tristan. I'm guessing these people are supposed to be on our side? Or would have been. If it hadn't been for the fact that I kind of failed them.
Let's try this way.
These are evil people, right? Oh wow, they've got 1 hit point. Doesn't actually tell me here whether they're good or evil. Oh no, it does. Lawful neutral. Maybe I shouldn't be murdering them all. Well, that's just rude. Can't actually do anything in this wolf form. Jublios? What? Tristan, what are you doing? Oh, you're insane. Great stuff. I'm not. 3 people instantly dead. And 2 permanently shape-changed into wolves. On the healer who might be able to undo any of that, permanently driven insane. God dang it. Fight's gonna kick off. This isn't too difficult. Focus on the barbarians because they'll focus on the rest of Brevoy. And they have slightly more hit points. Try not to miss. Hey, we didn't miss. Forgot to turn off Octavia's ability. Oh, it's Rengungar. I thought it was Jubileos for some reason. Surprise! It's a sneak attack. Right, Jubileos go after that one. And I forgot to turn that off again, and she just missed anyway. Surprised! You got shanked.
I'll cut you.
This should do it. You forced my hand.
Now I remember to turn it off. Move over here.
A calculated risk.
Jubileos, just move.
Clever ploy.
Regret life choices.
I shall end this suffering.
If it wasn't for the fact that I know that they've all got exactly one hit point, I'd be tempted just to fireball a lot of them. Oh, cleave worked.
I'll try to make this swift.
So, how did Valerie kill two people at once? And it's like cleave. She's got the cleave where it's like if you kill somebody, then they get to attack again. Right. I have saved this time. I'm going to avoid going to the south because it's not worth that fight. It's not like, what am I doing? It's feeling a little bit more like mop up now, which is kind of nice in a way. Because this is kind of how you want a campaign to end of sorts, you know. All the really difficult fighting is, you know, you're actually becoming competent at these kind of things. Should have backed away from him. Yeah, I know that there's got. I'm probably going to end up having to fight the Lantern King, and that's going to be a challenge into itself. But at the same token, it's not the impossible challenge. I hope it's not going to be an impossible challenge. But you know, the guy is a demigod after all. So you kind of expect that kind of level of boss fight to be difficult. I would like you to heal yourself a lot. That's pretty good. Right. That's all suitor over. Oh. More barbarians. Jubilios to kill that guy. Kill that guy. He's still not dead. Kill that guy. There we go. Now he's dead.
So it's come to this.
Well, these veteran guards can take a little bit of a beating at least.
This is for you.
Let's see what your entrails look like.
There's a lot of barbarians. My initiative rolls were terrible this one.
This will hurt.
Surprise! I'll let you go over there and support them because.
Let us strike as one.
I've just accidentally triggered another part of the combat.
Repent!
According to this. Oh wait, no, it never did display here, did it? It's always under abilities. Blindness. I just thought for a briefest moment there that Tristan was no longer actually blind. Typical Octavia. Misses on a very easy throw. It's time to sit back and wait until it all wraps around back to me. It was kind of interesting that I'm getting experience for everything dying out here. And it doesn't matter whether it's an ally or whether it's an enemy, I get experience. And then I miss the bad guy. Alright, you might be a problem. If you could just stay back here, that'd be great.
I'll fight if I have to.
Hey, you actually hit something. Well, oh, more people. Just people I didn't see before. One of the two. Oh yeah, I meant to throw some bombs with him, maybe clear out some of this chaff.
Let's try this way.
Do not falter.
You can't stop me.
Come on. Nearly got rid of this giant. Alright. Slowly getting there.
You forced my hand.
Consider me provoked.
About to ask what day of the week it is, and it's like, oh yeah, it's Tuesday. I know it's Tuesday because I'm playing Pathfinder Kingmaker. Early. I have no idea why I don't know what day of the week it is sometimes. Oh look, more of them.
Onwards.
Quite as impressive as I would have liked.
Bleed for me.
You heard the man. Bleed. starting to get the feeling I know why these are so easy to defeat.
This should be a
Because it's not that they're difficult to defeat, it's the fact that there's so many of them.
Stay behind me. Let us strike as one.
I'll try to make this swift.
I did not mean to press that button. Right. Do me a favour and go out there and murder that guy. Our rolling on this for the initiatives must have really been lousy. Bombs away! Free bombs for everybody! God dang it.
Do not falter.
Bum.
So it's come to this.
Should I? I think I should. Oh my word.
This will hurt.
I'm guessing I've got to defeat so many waves of these guys, but I have no idea how many waves it's going to throw at me. Ringungar, you need to finish up over there and start to consider moving back because you're a little bit separated. Right, now that you all gathered around, bombs for everyone! Right, and you get a stabbing, and you get a stabbing, and everybody gets a stabbing! Alright, you'll just have to wait your turn. You'll get a stabbing in a bit. Ah, dum 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 dum. I think this is another one of the things where it's like the difference between tabletop and computer game. And I don't know, but I've mentioned this a few times. But at the same token, it's like I'm not entirely sure how I'd feel about this at a tabletop. You know, just wave after wave after wave of enemy. You know.
Stay behind me.
In a CRPG, it's like it's very much like, yeah, I can see this working because, you know, there's just a lot of bad guys. They're just going to keep coming. Easy enough for the GM to keep track of. And for the most part, you know, if it wasn't for the fact that it's a CRPG, you know, the combat at the table will be so much more time consuming and to a certain degree a little bit boring. Not because you want it to be boring, but because it just takes so damn long. I'm working on it. Do you not see me working on it? Yeah, there's this guy over here.
Use of my talents.
Not see him back over there. And he's gone.
Repent.
Where are you getting shot from? That's a question. Publius, go be the forward scout. I would advise you don't go much further forward. This guy's likely just to murder you without any regard for your life. Should be able to get him on this round. There we go. Oh. She got back up. Your eyes are far more confident now than when we last met. The eyes of a true king.
There you are, and as always, exactly where you are most needed. Not a minute early, not a minute late.
How did you get here?
I've heard reports of strange happenings in your lands. So strange that I decided to see for myself and offer you military assistance if needed. And now I see it's needed indeed.
What's going on?
Really? So you don't know what's going on in your lands? Well, let me inform you. I don't know what great power you enraged, or whether it's from this world or from another one. But it is capable of creating a vexing mist and obscuring all tracks. This plane is swarming with phantoms. Not the ghosts of the dead, but the shadows, reflections of those who fought here on that memorable day. Brevins and barbarians walking out of the mist, fighting without distinguishing friend from foe, and dissolving into the mist again, endlessly.
I'm gathering my allies at the capital. Can you find your way there?
It's not easy to find a way through this sorcerous mist, but with your magic lantern, we can do it. Now go. We will follow you.
We will meet at the capital.
Until then, Your Highness, I don't know what an extraordinary disaster you've brought upon your kingdom, but I see now that you are entirely capable of handling it, especially with our help.
You feel some of your power return. By protecting the border region of your kingdom, you weaken the curse that hangs over you and your followers. You gain a trivial amount of XP. Alright, so I'll leave looting the corpses for when I leave this area. God damn it. Pop a heal.
A clever ploy.
It's a surprise.
This is for you.
I meant to charge. Do a proper attack this time. And same for you. Oh wait, no, you didn't need one.
Let's try this way.
Many bad guys. Many bad guys killing each other. Barbarians trying to kill me. Of course, Octavia misses. That's what Octavia does best. Surprise! Really? You want to do this? Fine. I'll murder you too.
Let us ride this one.
Mainly concentrate on these guys because the brevity soldiers should go down with a single hit. Believe they've still got one hit point piece. God dang it. I have 5 potential attacks and a number of times it's a final attack that, or the first attack that kills them off, and it's like, didn't really need to do a full round attack on that. Oh well.
A calculated risk.
Oh, my Lantern King curse has gotten weaker. 10% drop of on a roll to get a roll of 1. 10% for them to get a roll of 20. Only 15% less damage. 15% base attack bonus, saving throws and HP loads, and access to all but the highest level of spells. And just one more place to go visit.
This will hurt.
Hey! Did that the right way around for once. God damn it, Valerie. Right, I have no idea where the path out of here is. Ah, there it is. Ah, rings, amulets. I don't know why I'm picking any of this stuff up. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. One last step was all that prevented our leader from shaking the Lantern King's curse from his shoulders, finding and retrieving the last missing piece of his kingdom. That's what drove our hero onwards. Summoning all his courage, Chiron took a daring step to a silver portal leading towards Ivaretti's palace in the heart of Pitax. This time the journey through the First World was not a pleasant one. Trudging through a huge trench filled with enormous linon bones is no laughing matter. In another time and place we probably would have explored this strange boneyard to find out who or what created it. But with the fate of the stolen lands on the line, our hero suppressed his curiosity and hurried through the next portal to help his kingdom. The thing is, I don't think I'm going to have enough time. I have a feeling that it's like, help the kingdom, go back to base, one-on-one the land, or not one-on-one, but it'll be time for the Lantern King. Right. Oh, Ivaretti the Tyler. What? Why are there multiple Ivarettis? This is slightly concerning. Let's do a bless. This could get complicated.
I'll cut you.
Oh, maybe not. Or maybe so. It's a lot more Ivarettis than I would like. I mean, one was far too many.
Let's try this.
I'll fight if I have to.
Bombs away. Yeah.
Stay behind me.
Take a 5-foot step and reach him.
You forced my hand.
Luckily, to a certain degree, this palace is so overrun that I'm not going to be able to just straight up get lost in here.
In due time.
I'm not afraid.
Oh, Ivaretti the Cunning, the Genius, the Cunning, the Tireless, the Invincible. So you're saying he's invincible? Doesn't look very invincible to me.
Yeah.
No. Jealous mediocrity, get out of my sight. Makes you think that I was jealous of you. You're just a pencil mark in the margins of my epic. I mean, I like the way you think, but good luck. There goes your invincible.
This should do it.
Your genius is not too far behind. Genius needed to go.
Strike is one.
Will they ever learn?
And then he exploded.
Calculated risk. I'll try to make this swift.
Die for me.
Do not falter.
Do.
This will hurt.
Why can't I loot a plant? Alright, fair enough. Hey, Elven Absence. I'm pretty sure I needed that for a quest ages ago. Right, who do I have? Cunning, Genius, Cunning, Invincible, Tireless. The Genius needs to go. And the genius is dead. Long live the genius. Ah, Mr. Genius. I thought there was only one genius. Well, that's rude.
So it's come to this.
A fine use of my talents.
Yes, bleed.
Onward.
Could you take care of the genius? Thank you. I don't like what he was about to do next. Which is usually a phantasmal killer, which can just kill people.
Clever ploy.
Let's try this way. This should do it.
Fear me.
Stay behind me.
Bum. Centered action, you and all your allies. Oh, it's centered on the caster. Okay. Is Iverati the invincible? Not this one, the other one. Is invisible. The invisible Iverati the invincible. I'm not sure if I want to. You cannot even comprehend my grandeur. Yeah, I'll comprehend this. Another one of you just died.
I'll cut you.
Let us strike as one.
Do.
This will hurt.
And there we go.
Die for me.
Let's have a save, why not?
There you are, of course. After all, you couldn't miss it. A mimic cannot exist without model, nor villain without a hero. You don't have your own journey or your own story, for you are merely a chapter in my epic. Without me, you simply do not exist. Do you remember when we last met, you said you'd rule my lands? For the good of your subjects, wisely and fairly? So what? Did your ruling bring your subjects much good? Are they satisfied? Are they happy now? Is the toady fairy happy? Is your governor happy who turned into my footrest?
You think you're a hero? I think you're a common villain and not the most dangerous I've dispatched.
Everyone thinks they are the hero of their own story, and all the others but a crowd. But do you know what makes us different? Your story is a poor joke that's gone on for far too long. Mine is a legend for the ages. Look around. I am everything I was and all that I could be. All the legends composed about me. My glory was too great to fit into one body. Here is Irovetti, wise ruler. Irovetti, invincible warrior. Irovetti, cunning trickster. Irovetti, sacred champion of Calistria. And who are you? No one and nothing. A minor prop I will use to demonstrate my grandeur to the audience. Well, let us begin. It's time for you to become a part of my history.
The tireless are cunning, so they're all tireless and cunning. Bum. And then you exploded.
Do not falter.
Tireless, tireless, genius, tireless, genius, tireless.
Let's try this way.
What do I have? What do I have? No, don't want to do that. I've not really got any of my big meaty spells left. Got a bunch of them on their turns. Right. Will you stop trying to attack the back markers? It's rude. They're at the back because I don't want you killing them. Octavia. Shoot. Where is it? Oh, you've stepped a little bit too far away. Let's go for communal see invisibility. As you know, I need to be able to see what I'm trying to murder.
This should do it.
You cannot even comprehend my grandeur. And new triumphant for the brilliant Ivaretti. Wow, you really do think that much of yourself. Surprise, I can see you. Do with cutting our way through these people. Getting to the real one. Do you know what was always fun? Another lightning bolt. See? It was hilarious.
You forced my hand.
Bleed for me.
God damn it. Probably gonna have to take out everybody else first because they're just gonna get in my way
Behind me.
and continue to nibble away at me.
This is for you.
It's just so annoying. Keeps trying to hit me, but he keeps on failing.
I'll try to make this swift.
And then he exploded. Oh no, you scratched me. Whatever shall I do? Oh dear, it's a sneak attack. Oh. More of them. Great stuff.
So it's come to this.
The legend is immortal. No, the legend is dead. If you are indeed a legend. I doubt that. See, I'd be tempted to use a pit to take care of these people, but it would just take far too long.
Let us strike it one.
Oh, good God, how many more of them are you? I think it just broke. Even it got to the point of saying, no, there's too many, I can't handle this. One down. 2 down. 3 down. God dang it. I was hoping for 4 down. Cunning. Invincible. Surprise. Keep forgetting, who are these people? Alright. Just I knew one of them was a Dryad or Nephid.
You forced my hand.
So hopefully we're just about done with this curse part of it. We're not going to have time to take out the Lantern King this session. Assuming that we do actually have to take out the Lantern King once the curse is broken. Right. Oh. It's broken again.
I'll try to make this swift.
I'll see what your entrails look like.
Surprise! The way that they keep trying.
You can't stop me.
This hallway is covered by dense net of vines. Thank you. Words cannot describe how happy I am to see you. It's the second time you've risked your life for my freedom. Plus, you've challenged my old enemy, an eldest whose name I do not dare say out loud. In gratitude for rescuing me and for his long-awaited defeat, I will provide you all with all the help I possibly can. Gaspar greets you with a sweeping bow. Thank you for saving my life. You've come once more to free Pitax from a tyrant, and my sword is at your service again. This time we are threatened not by a simple petty tyrant, but a godlike monster from another world. But I will fight for my city to the last drop of my blood. Pitax has been freed. The chain that binds you to the curse has weakened, but your own freedom and our victory are not yet within our grasp. Let's hurry to the capital. We must prepare for the next step. But first, tell me what became of my sister. Did you encounter your encounter at how did your encounter at the house at the edge of time end? We were able to find common ground. Nerissa will help us in this war. Nerid frowns. You've made a terrible mistake. Endless generations of innocence, the same as she destroyed over ages past, will pay the price for any help she provides us now. You know as well as I that the curse of the eldest has transformed her into a monster. How could you unleash this monster? Right then. Enough talk. It's time to act. Let's go. You feel some of your powers return. By restoring Pitax, you've weakened the curse hanging over you and your followers. And the curse is gone. Woo! I mean, is there not a way out this way? Not even a way to examine the thing that is telling us a thing. Aha. The Rapier of Satisfaction. Each time an enemy lands a hit on the wielder of this +5 archaic mithril rapier, it gains a stacking +2 bonus to damage rolls until the end of battle. That's potentially very dangerous for some individuals. You know, you're looking at trying to make somebody who's a tank that's fairly easy to hit, lots of damage. You're probably looking at a barbarian with a rapier and just powering through all the damage. Right, no new places have turned up. Lamashtu's Shrine and the Depths of Trobold are still the only two odd ones there. Travelling through the kingdom has been half swallowed by the First World is dangerous, unpredictable affair, but our hero didn't have much choice. To save his lands, or at least what was left of them, as quickly as possible. In the final hour, with every minute counted, Chiron decided the only chance was to try something risky and unreliable. Magic portals leading through the First World. Summoning all his courage, Chiron took a daring step to the golden portal leading back to the capital. The journey to the capital was uneventful. As uneventful as possible when you're travelling through the First World. Luckily, avoiding any encounters with otherworldly monsters and becoming lost to the treacherous paths in another reality, Chiron found a suitable portal and was soon standing at the entrance of the capital. Right. I have no idea who I'm supposed to talk to now, but I'm not going to talk to anybody because I am... The session is running out of time, and it's I could possibly try and rush through and potentially find the Lantern King and kill him with a swift backhand. I doubt it. I think it's going to drag on a little bit, and I want to be prepared for it. So we are going to call the stream roughly here. It's time anyway. I mean, there's only 8 minutes till I'm be closing up the stream anyway. But this has been session 78. Let's do some quick maths, because I get the distinct feeling, win, lose or draw, the next session is going to be the last. So we're looking at anywhere between 224 and 227 hours to complete this game, roughly. I know that I've been distracted from playing the game at times and gone off on tangents and started talking about this, that, and the other, but at the same token, it's been fairly consistent. And yeah, it's been a time. I am looking at and going to be potentially doing a bit of a breakdown session. It might not be here, it might be over on Mana Pot Studios, where they generally do more in regards to chatting and talking about things related to role-playing games, not just actual playing of games and the like. Also, it's good in some ways if I am going to be talking to have another individual there. It's likely to be Krifu. It might be a couple of other people. Don't know yet. But at the same token, it's one of them where it's like could be interesting to basically do a bit of a breakdown, the differences between the role-playing game in terms of plot and the tabletop game. Talking about the differences between video games and why they're a good stopgap, but nowhere near as comprehensive. But at the same token, there's certain aspects to video games that are so better suited to video games than tabletops, and the details about that. To a certain degree, if you went back and watched all of my videos and listened to all of my ramblings about video games and tabletop games, you probably get roughly the same experience, where it's probably going to be a little bit more detailed because, like I said at the top of the stream, I am going through and reading the Pathfinder Kingmaker adventure path so that I know where the differences lie between the tabletop and the video game. Right. We are going to raid... I think we're going to raid Retro Ted again. Retro Ted is streaming Baldur's Gate, which is kind of like one of the spiritual ancestors of Pathfinder Kingmaker. You know, it's a CRPG which is based on the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, which is like 2nd edition Dungeons and Dragons. If I get my version or editions correctly, because back in the day they just gave them names rather than just like editions. But at the same token, you know, and this is where, you know, my interest in role-playing games certainly started. So yeah, it's interesting to watch. So I will be back on Thursday with Pathfinder Kingmaker session 79. Hopefully, maybe the finale. So stay tuned for that. At 8 o'clock GMT, and then on Fridays I stream Hitman 3 World of Assassination. I think it's an elusive target this week, so that's always fun. if stressful, and that will be at 9 p.m. on Friday. I join go Josh. Micah_UK over on his channel on Saturdays, and on Mondays I'm over on Manapot Studios at 7 p.m. GMT doing an actual play live stream of Starfinder's Fly Free or Die, on a stream we're calling All That Glitters Explodes. So hope you can all join me there if you find that kind of thing interesting. Hopefully that should be a little bit back on track. I was actually going to talk about that a little bit today, but kind of got distracted. Oh well. So yeah, we are going to raid Retro Ted, and I hope to see you all next time. Daddy bye.